Change channel on TV to BBC News.
Okay.
Volume control, you can see it going up and down. Mute is working. Home button. Excellent. Works perfectly. Hi guys, today we're taking a look at some smart tech from a company called Broadlink. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. So I've laid out all the items I'm going to be taking a look at. We've got a smart bulb, we've got a smart plug, and we've got a universal remote. So I'll be showing these items, setting them up, and testing them out. But before we begin, if you're new to the channel, do consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon to be notified of new videos. This YouTube algorithm is a bit crazy, and just by hitting the like button and dropping me a comment, you can help support the channel. So let's make a start. So you may be wondering what makes this Broadlink smart tech so special. Well, the team at Broadlink have come up with the most innovative idea in the smart tech industry. So one of the biggest hassles when purchasing smart tech is the fact that you have to use multiple apps if you move across different companies. And this can be a frustration. So what Broadlink has developed is a no app functionality where you don't have to install an app. So this avoids the hassles of learning a new app and going through the setup process. Completely eliminates that. So all you have to do is just connect one device to your network, and any subsequent devices that are added connect to a mesh network that is automatically created. And what this does, each device connects to each other, and this takes the load off your router and provides an even wider range on the devices. So you can actually go up to 500 meters and it can handle up to 1,000 devices. And if you needed to update the SSID, you only have to do it once on a single device, and that's it. And the way you'd control these devices is via the Google or the Amazon apps. So this functionality is available in their smart bulbs and smart plugs, but not on their universal remotes. So in this video, I'll show how to set up using their no app technology. Let's make a start at showing this no app functionality. So I've got a bulb set up here and it's plugged in at the side. So let's turn it on. As you can see, it's flashing away. So this is in the config mode at the moment. So now if I drop this down, go to my Wi-Fi connections, give it a moment to scan, and it's found this Broadlink Wi-Fi device. If I select that, sign in to Wi-Fi network, click on that, and this is what I'm presented with. So this is where you select your Wi-Fi network and enter in your Wi-Fi password. So let me select my test network and enter in my password. Use email to activate your device. So let me enter in my account here. Let me click next. Now it's saying tap to connect the device to the router. Connect now. The page might be closed. Okay to that. So if you look at the bulb now, it stopped flashing. That means it's joined the Wi-Fi network. Looking at my email now, I can confirm it's successfully added on. And now if I go to the Amazon app here, click on more, go to skills and games, search for Broadlink. That's the skill we're after. Enable to use. Are you in Europe? This is important as it allows us to connect you to the right server. Yes to that. Now I select no app. We enter in our email address next to that, and we've got a verification code that's been sent to that email address. Now checking my email, you can see the verification code. I'll type that in, sign in, linked account, so you can use these to quickly sign into your Broadlink accounts. I'll click skip for this for now. And there you go, successfully linked, close to that. Now we discover devices. Now looking in devices, you can see it there, color bulb. There's no shortcut on here. Clicking on there, got the standard options, turning it off, turning it on. Obviously brightness levels, you can adjust them. Set the color on there. So it's an RGB with warm white and cool white on there. Show the colors briefly. And there you go. How impressive was that? Really no messing around with it. I've connected to the bulb, added it onto my Wi-Fi network, given an email address. And then when I try and link it up with the Amazon app, sends a verification code and it's added in. As simple as that. Really impressed how easy it is to add in. Let's show the same functionality on the Google side. So if I go in the Google app, click on the plus, go to set up device, works with Google, search for Broadlink. Again, it asks if we're in Europe, yes to that. How we're logging in, so this is again, we select no app, enter in our email next to that, and we'll get another verification code in our email. Now you can click sign in, click skip to that, and now coming back from there, and there we have it. Color bulb, so you can turn off from here, shortcut, turn it on. Same functionality as any other standard smart bulb, as you can see. Change the color as well. So there you go, how cool is that? So you didn't have to go to another app, just work straight off this one. Now I've added in the socket using the same method. The smart plug actually has a night light on there as well. So if I flip it up, and now if I press the button here to turn it on, there you go, night light's turned on, press it again, turns off. So excellent bit of functionality. So there you go, really impressed by the functionality on these devices. This is the future, how things should be added in. Most people have an Amazon or a Google device. Adding it in via that app makes the most sense really. Why have a separate app for the manufacturer to control the device? Makes no sense really. So as well as having the no app functionality, we also have using the Broadlink app functionality. So let me move on to showing that. If I go to the Play Store, this is the app you're after, so Broadlink Universal TV Remote. I've already got it installed, but when you first install it and then run it, you'll be asked to sign up. You sign up, and then once you've signed in, this is what you'll be presented with. Dialogue like this. I've already added in the smart plug and the smart bulb as well. The process is identical. There's two methods of adding these devices in, like with Smart Life and Sonoff devices. So you've got AP mode. This is where the device has a hotspot running on this, so a Wi-Fi hotspot, and you connect to that. Now, what I found, if you go via the AP mode, it's just a hassle, real hassle to get going. So you want to go for a standard setup. So in terms of the light indicator flashing, so there's one here, and obviously with the bulb will be flashing away. So if it's repeatedly flashing consistently, then it's in just a standard setup mode. So if it flashes a few times and then it pauses, then you know it's in AP mode. And to come out of that, you just keep turning it on and off about 5 to 10 times, and it goes into a normal setup mode. So let's attempt to set up the universal remote. So if I plug it in, and if I come in close just to show, you can see there the LEDs rapidly flashing. That's in a standard setup mode. Now coming to the app, if I click on the plus, add device, tries to find the device. So let's give it a moment. And now it's saying power on device and make sure the LED indicator or bulb is flashing quickly 5 times per second, which it is, as you've seen. So if I click next, need to enter in our Wi-Fi details. So my details are cached as I've already set up the other 2 devices. So we'll just click connect to Wi-Fi. Warns you that 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi isn't supported. Now that's general amongst most of the smart products, only because 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi has a shorter range on there. That's why a lot of the time they don't support it. So we'll just continue to set up. And there you go, it's added in. Click on that, join a room. So you need to join them into a room each time. So I'll pick my default one here, which is loft. Next to that, you can rename it if you wanted. We'll just leave as that and just click save. The cable for the device actually has the temperature and humidity sensor built into it. So we'll click save to this and use device now. And there we have it. We've got the indoor temperature level and indoor humidity level, and you can add appliances. So this is where you'd add in remote controls. So either infrared ones or RF remotes. Now coming back, and there we have it. We have our 3 devices set up. So it is pretty easy to set up, but like I said, AP mode was a nightmare for me. I just couldn't get it going. Next, just to show how to add in a remote. So if I go for the Wi-Fi universal remote, select that, add appliance, and we'll add in my TV, which is just in front of me. So click TV, just highlights here that Bluetooth remotes aren't supported. I'll click add appliance. Next, we choose our brand of TV. So I'll just type in LG, which is the make I've got. That's the one there. And option 1 most popular. So there's different options here, and the bottom one is button match, so you can program it yourself. So we'll go for option 1 first. So we'll click test option 1, click OK to that, and we just test out one of the buttons. So I'll click that, give it a sec, and there you go, it's turned on. So first time lucky straight away with this, and I can just select it works well to confirm it's working. So let's try a few more buttons out. Volume control, you can see it going up and down. Mute is working. Home button, excellent, works perfectly. So I can just select works well. And there you go, it's added in. Continue to that, say where the device is. So it's in the loft. Name the device. So we'll just keep it as TV, save to that. So this is just highlighting is the fact that the TV has been added in as a sub device on the universal remote, and the fact it relies on the universal remote to work. So I'll just click I know that, use device now, OK to that, and there we have it, working away. So excellent, easy as that to add in a remote. Now, as well as adding in the TV remote, if I scroll down, I've also added in the amplifier I have just below my TV. So I've added in the remote for that. Now, coming to the home page of the app, you can see my devices, and then you can see each of the remotes I've added in. So you can see the TV and the amplifier there. And what's quite cool, obviously you've got the shortcut to turn it on, and then coming in here, there's other shortcuts too, so you can quickly get in there without having to click on there and go into full screen mode. Now, if I come back from there, we go into shortcut, we click here on the shortcut, click the power, and just give it a moment, it will turn on. You can see HDMI 1's coming on, and now if I click the shortcut for the amplifier, just clicked on, you can just faintly see the lights come on at the bottom. Turning it off from here as well, and there as well. So that's quite cool to be able to add them in like that. And it's nice having the shortcuts to enable you to quickly make some changes, like change the volume or change the channel, etc. Now we've got all our devices set up, let me show you around the options you have available on each device. So we'll start off with the smart plug. So first of all, what if the smart plug's actually powered on? So I've got the switch on out here at the side, and I've got it plugged in to a bulb. So the button underneath is an override. So you can turn the smart plug on and off. And now coming over to the app, if I click the button here, it's a shortcut on there to turn it on and off as well. Going in there, and again, another button there to turn it on and off. And we've got another one here as well. There's quite a few ways of turning it on and off. Coming at the top, you've got 3 dots. So if I click on that, got function set, going in there, and then you've got a max work time option. So this is where you wanted a situation where you turn it on, works for a certain period of time, and then just automatically turns off. So that's a great facility to have and useful for when you're, for example, charging a mobile phone and you wanted to turn off after a certain period. And looking in here, you can set the max work time as well. You've got different options there. Looking below, you've got open indicator light, so you can have that light on if you want. It's just over here. Got history, shows you the times when it's been turned off. Back from here, back again, clicking on the dots, then you've got property. And this is the basic details regarding the device. So this is the name, it will have IP address details in there, also the location, firmware, etc. Coming down, and then you can delete it from here as well. Coming back from there, then you've got outlet, and this is what the button's called. So the plug itself is called smart plug, you can see at the top, but the button's called outlet. You can rename it here. Indicator down there indicates that max work time's on. So if I went here, turn it off, you can see it's disappeared from there. So there's no indication that that's in max work time mode. Coming down below, then we can see timer option. Clicking on here, you can set your own custom timers like other smart plugs. Just showing the options in there and the operation you have available. And interestingly enough, in this one, you've got outlet and then you've got night light as well. So I'll show that in a second. Coming back again, and then we have delay. So this is a delay option where you could set a delay for, say for instance, 3 minutes, and then after 3 minutes, it either turns on or turns off, depending on the state. So at the moment, the bulb's off, so you can set a delay for it to turn on. And if I turn the bulb on, go to delay, and it's a delay to turn it off again. So turning that off, and then going to night light. And this is quite a cool option here. Clicking on there, you can see a night light come on. So quite useful if you wanted to have this night light in a hallway in the evenings perhaps, or even in a bedroom, that facility is available. There's no sensor on here, just to note. Obviously it's controlled via the app, so you can set timers on there, etc. You can control the brightness levels as well, just to show. Turn it off, turn it on, and I can rename it to call it something else if I didn't want to call it night light. Coming back from there, and that's all the options you have available for the smart plug. Next, moving on to the smart bulb. So I can turn it on and off from here, just like the smart plug. And going in there, clicking on the dots there, you've got functions set. And in this one, you can only see history. Back from there, clicking the dots again, property. Similar details here. So you've got the name of the device, you can rename it, change the location. You've got device information and firmware, etc. Coming back from there, then you've got a big button to turn it on and off. Timer, same as the other one. Delay, same as the other option as well. So white light, so if I turn the light on, click on white light, and then you can alternate between warm white and cold white. Back from here, color light, you can change the color on here, and representation color wise looks pretty good. Brightness levels can be adjusted here, and also saturation levels. So if I take it right down, it will just go into a white mode. Okay, back from here, then we've got a scene. These are just custom scenes that are already in there. Let's click through them. Click on read, sleep, cloudy sky, dusk, and customize. So you can create your own dynamic scene or static scene. These are the options you have available. You can just hit save on that and you've got it. And that's it. That's all the options you have available in this one. Coming back. Next, coming down to Wi-Fi Universal Remote. If I select that, clicking on the 3 dots, you can see the default details like with the other devices, but looking on here, you've also got named sub-devices, so you can rename them there. And then you've got sub-device there, so you can see those. Coming back, looking down below, same options again. Notification settings, I didn't show this one on the previous ones, but you can set notifications on certain states. So if it enters a certain state, you'll be notified. So the same applies for the other options as well. Coming back again. Then you've got indoor temperature and indoor humidity. If I click on that, there you go. You've got a graph of the different temperatures and a graph of the different humidity levels. Back from there, then you can see amplifier and TV. So if I click on one, I've already shown this, just the settings on there, but the 3 dots there. Timer, edit button, relearn buttons, backup remote and property. Let's try timer. Add a timer. So on here, you can set a timer for a certain action to appear. So if you wanted the TV to turn off at a certain time every day, you can do that, which is quite cool. You can't do that on a normal remote, really, can you? So quite cool functionality, or even have it turning on at a certain time if you wanted that. So back from there, it's an interesting facility. I didn't really think it would have something like that. Clicking on here, edit button. This type of appliance only support editing extension buttons. So these are the extension buttons and you can change them. There you go. So back from here, clicking on there, relearn buttons, obviously reprogram them. Backup remote, so you can do that, and property. They're the basic details you have about it. Back from here, and then obviously the TV would have the same options as well. Now clicking on add appliances, you've already shown this, but if I go down, you've got user defined. So if I click on this, you can custom define your own functionality on a device. So add appliance, say which room you want it in, user define, can leave it as that, save to that, and I know use device now. No button has been learned, so this is where you can add in separate functions. So I could click on that, and what you do, you point your remote at the universal remote, and that will actually pick up the signal from the infrared, or if it's an RF remote, and then you can assign it a role. So if I click on IR remote, start learning, and if I take my remote, press a button, there you go. So it's picked up the signal. So you could in fact create a single remote which are controlling different devices on there, which is quite cool functionality, because I could have an interface showing both my TV and amplifier at the same time. So I don't have to go between separate devices. So that's possible as well. So cool functionality that you can define your own functionality for each of the buttons. So if I cancel out of that, and again, you're not limited to just infrared remotes, you can do the same with RF remotes as well. Back from here, back again, and that's all the options we have available in there. So now coming back, and then you've got the remotes, which I've already shown. Next thing worth showing are the routines on here. So this is where you can create your own smart routines to do different things and for the different devices to interact together. So now clicking on there, you can see I've created one already, and you've got a settings one here. Clicking on there, just highlights daylight saving time is applied to my region. Okay, coming back from there, there's the one I've already created. So if I click on that, you can see what I've set up is a trigger, and what the trigger does is if this smart plug is turned on, it'll activate the action to press the power button on both the TV and the amplifier. So if I press it now, and there you go, give it a second. There you go, the TV's come on and the amplifiers come on. How cool is that? So you can get different buttons controlling different devices and all interacting together. So now if I press it again, nothing will happen. But if I press it one more time, which will be the on motion, both devices turn off. How cool is that? You wouldn't normally be able to do this sort of stuff. It's only because of this universal remote, it can get these different devices interacting with each other. So really impressive functionality from this. Next, it's worth mentioning that the devices can integrate with both the Amazon and Google voice control products. So I've got my devices set up over here. Now, in terms of services, in the Google Home device, you'd add in the Broadlink service, and in the Amazon device, same thing again, Broadlink service, just add in your credential and it will link in. Now, coming on to the Google Home side of things, if I scroll down, you can see amplifier and TV here, and going into that, and if I click on, you can just vaguely see in the distance the amplifier's turned on. click it again, it turns off. So same with the TV. If I click on that, you can turn the TV on, give it a moment to start. There you go, start it up, you can turn it off. It's a good bit of functionality. So if you didn't have a smart TV and you wanted to control it via voice control, this will enable you to do it. So in terms of the bulb and the plug, if I scroll down, standard functionality, turn it on, turn it off, change color, etc. I've shown it before on other devices. It's the same thing. And the same applies for the smart plug as well. So now to see this in action, so if I say, turn on TV.
Sure, turning on the TV.
Change channel on TV to 101.
All right, playing 101 on TV.
Change channel on TV to BBC News.
All right, playing BBC News on TV.
How cool is that? So you can turn it on, you can change channel, and I can also turn it off as well. Turn off TV.
All right, turning the TV off.
Excellent. Now coming over to the Alexa side of things, if I scroll across, go to all devices, same things apply. Bulb can be controlled, smart plug can be controlled like any other devices, but in terms of the TV and amplifier, if I scroll down, amplifier wise, you can see there's no options available. Coming back, scrolling down further, there's TV. If I click on that, you can see again, TV doesn't have any options to turn on and off either. So now if I say, turn on TV.
Okay.
Change channel on TV to 101.
Okay.
Change channel on TV to BBC News.
Okay.
Turn off TV.
Okay.
There you go, simple as that, works well. One thing to highlight, coming over to the Broadlink app, clicking on TV and clicking on channel selection there, actually allowed me to select location and download a list of channels. So that's quite useful. So hence, when I say change to a certain channel, it will look on the list here and change accordingly. And again, you've seen for yourself, works pretty well. On and off is working, changing channel is working as well. Okay, so you've seen this smart tech from Broadlink. So excellent seeing this no app functionality in action. I now realize there is no point in having a third-party app. My phone itself has so many apps on there, it just gets ridiculous sometimes, especially when you're testing all these things out. It makes sense to go down this route for all manufacturers, really. Having an additional app, that app will request access to all sorts of things on your phone, so it will have access to storage, contacts, etc. Really, that shouldn't be required. So this is the future of how smart tech should be. As well as the no app functionality, you can go via the more traditional method of installing things where the Broadlink app comes into it. So I've also shown that as well. Functionality wise, very similar to most smart tech, some extra options available on there as you've seen. So you've got max work time. You can set timers on the RF and infrared side of things as well. Didn't expect that functionality, but quite cool to see. Nice to see it integrates with routines as well. So you can create your own routines with different tech to interact together. So if you press the button, for instance, you can get devices turning on in a room. It's a pretty cool tech here. So if you wanted a single home for all your remotes and some of your smart tech as well, that's possible. Integrates with voice control as well via the Amazon and the Google products. IFTTT is available as well, so you can get it interacting with other devices from other manufacturers. So there you go, I hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. Hang around for the end cards to see more smart tech. Drop me a like if you've liked this video. Let me know what you thought of it. If you didn't like it, let me know why you didn't like it. Thanks for viewing and see you in the next one.